Today on What's Next.
1 minute spent of being vigorous can earn you 4 minutes of lifespan back.
Build your brain around purpose. Optimize cognitive activity around social activities.
You're going to raise the leg up. You're going to hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, then lower the leg. And by doing this exercise, it will really help you to improve your balance.
Hello and welcome into a fresh episode of Growing Boulder's What's Next, where we are changing lives by showing that it's never too late to make the rest of your life the best of your life. At Growing Bolder, we believe that every breath at every age has value and it's filled with possibility. Doesn't really matter if you're 18 or 80, every day is another chance to say yes. Yes to opportunity, to try new things, to find purpose in your life, and do the things that we love with the people that we love. Of course, we all would like to live a long and happy life, but just how do we get there? Well, a good place to start is with Mike Studer's 5 Pillars of Health. Studer is a professor, a neurophysical therapist. He's a researcher, a geriatric rehabilitation expert, a falls prevention guru, and is the author of The Brain That Chooses Itself. Here's some of my recent interview with Mike Studer. Your book is organized around 5 keys, 5 pillars, call them what you will, to extending our health span. And those 5 keys, Mike, are physical activity, nutrition, sleep, social connection, and novel experiences. How important is physical activity to maintaining a health span as we age?
A lot of people think, well, physical activity, that means exercise. That means I've got to have a gym membership. I've got to have weights. So physical activity can feel like purposeful volunteering, can feel like childcare and pushing a stroller, taking your dog for a walk, and physical activity right there. Point number 1 is it doesn't have to be exercise. Point number 2, very quickly, is it can be brief and intense. Small exercise snacks or vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity. 30 seconds of moving fast. So 1 minute spent of being vigorous can earn you 4 minutes of lifespan back. And some studies are upwards of 7 minutes. Being active in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s actually is an investment for your 70s and 80s. And studies are now showing you can delay or mitigate the onset of many of the degenerative diseases by investing in intensive exercise during those decades.
One of the 5 keys to increasing our own health span is nutrition. What should we be eating? What are we doing wrong, especially as we age, in terms of what we put into our body?
The number 1 thing is eating too many ultra-processed foods. Eating simple and eating diverse is much healthier. Keep it simple, keep it real, limit artificial sugars. If I were to eat 2,000 calories per day in the form of 200 calories per hour times 10 hours, that's much less healthy than to eat 3 separate meals of about 666 calories, because you need to give your cells time to respirate. You need to actually cause your metabolism to go up and to go down. And you need to actually allow your blood sugar to be able to provide you with energy rather than to feed it constantly and just to be grazing throughout the day.
Let's move on to sleep if we can, because that is also something that's on everybody's list as being critically important for all of us as we age.
The 4 main pillars appear to be QQRT. This is from the work of Dr. Matthew Walker. Quality, quantity, regularity, and time. So if I want to actually get the best sleep, I need to probably go to sleep and wake up within about 30 to 45 minutes of the same time of night and morning every day, because melatonin, growth hormone, and the cycles of sleep that we naturally go through are depending on us to actually go through that at that same circadian rhythm every single night. Now let's talk about naps. It actually releases this burden of fatigue, and you actually get a boost in cognitive performance without borrowing against your sleep time.
All right, Dr. Mike Studer, let's move on to the fourth of your 5 key principles for maximizing our health span, and that is social connection, which is obviously something more and more people are talking about post-pandemic. Why is social connection so important to us? What does it do for us?
Dr. Vivek Murthy, of all the contributions that he has made as a 2-term U.S. Surgeon General, maybe hasn't made any more prolific of a contribution than to say that unintentional solitude, loneliness that you didn't choose, is equal to smoking about 15 cigarettes per day. So that is from a physical standpoint, mental health standpoint, cognitive standpoint. Loneliness that we're not choosing is very unhealthy. So social connectedness that we choose counters that. Social connectedness, even with a pet or another loved one, significant other, does many things that loneliness would be raising. And that is those social connections, pet and significant other, or just having a network of people that are in your tribe, lowers blood pressure and actually improves mood, dopamine, oxytocin opportunities, as well as serotonin. So we're improving mental health, reducing systolic blood pressure, and also that is really kind of a system-wide beneficial. So social connectedness helps with cognitive performance, physical performance. It also helps us manage stressful life situations. Now, you'll see many studies that say if an individual goes through a stressful situation and they're lonely, that causes catastrophic mental health changes. If an individual goes through the same stressful situation, and in fact, they know they have a support structure, they can buffer it, they can move through.
So let's move into that fifth one, novel experiences. Doing things that are not easy is in many cases good for us. Are they not, Mike?
We create an innovative brain when we have challenged ourselves to go through novel experiences. So we get overall lower blood pressure, we get increased stimulation in the brain, cognitive stimulation, dopamine hits when we try something hard. Guess what, Mark? Even if we don't completely succeed, I'm going to try to run this half marathon under an hour and a half time. I get a dopamine hit, which is healthy to my brain for even the pursuit of doing that. So hard things could be, I'm in a sauna for 25 minutes. I'm actually cold plunging in your backyard in winter in, let's say, 45 to 51 degree water for just minutes at a time. You can introduce opportunities that create novelty and create uncomfort and create dopaminergic situations.
Mike Studer covered a whole lot of ground there, so let's recap quickly some of his key points from the 5 pillars. Number 1, you got to find a way to stay active. Of course, it doesn't have to be hardcore exercise. Walking the dog, cleaning the house, or gardening will get the job done. Eat less sugar. Focus on a simple diet with a variety of healthy proteins, fruits, and vegetables. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. And if you need a nap during the day, take it because it's good for you. Stay socially connected because social isolation is just as bad for you as smoking is. And try hard things and try new things because they're good for you. The only limitations in life are those that we set for ourselves.
Sleep is that important for cleansing your brain. There is no other cleanse. Sleep is the ultimate cleanse, which means invest in your sleep.
Welcome back inside What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton. We're talking today about the keys to a longer, happier life, and Who doesn't want some of that? Of course, one of the most important keys is maintaining a healthy brain, and the key to that is lifestyle, something we all have control over, which is why I was anxious to speak with one of the world's most respected brain health doctors, researchers, and scientists, Dr. Dean Sherzai. He's the co-director of the renowned Alzheimer's Prevention Program at Loma Linda University.
A good place to start is actually where you need to start. If you have sleep apnea, that's where you start. Sleep apnea has been shown to significantly increase the risk of dementia. If your deficit is in nutrition, that's where you start. But if your deficit is across the board, actually, I would say start with exercise. And by exercise, I don't mean go run the marathon. Starts with a brisk walk or even a slow walk, 20 minutes, and slowly build it. Just that has been shown to significantly reduce your chance of dementia. Now, all of them have an effect, including what we call neuro. It's a little self-serving acronym that we've coined and we've trademarked. It's N for nutrition, E for exercise, U for unwind, good stress and bad stress, R for restorative sleep, and fifth one, O, is optimizing mental activity. Continually challenge your brain. That's the only thing that grows the connections between your neurons in the order of 30,000 per neuron. So where you start is where your deficit is, where the opportunity lies, and where you want to go. So that.
Share with us, if you will, 3, 4, 5 things that you think we can all do starting today, to improve our lifestyle, to diminish the possibility that we will, in fact, have cognitive decline.
Increase your greens. Studies show that people who ate more greens, spinach and other greens, dark leafy greens, their brains were 11 years younger. Reduce your saturated fat, reduce your simple sugars. But in a measurable way, move throughout the day. Watch 2 of your shows while standing up and doing steps in place. Not fast, just steps or just standing. Do a few squats. Leg strength meant bigger brains. You don't have to go to a gym. Do mini squats while watching a show. Bigger legs protect you in many ways. Stress management. Build life around good stress. Don't get lazy. Take classes. Learn new musical instrument. Learn new music. Learn to dance. And reduce the stressors by identifying them and then systematically reducing them. Sleep. Invest in your sleep. There's a reason that you're knocked out, paralyzed for 8 hours for tigers, bears, and all these animals to do whatever they wanted to you, because sleep is that important for cleansing your brain. There is no other cleanse. Sleep is the ultimate cleanse, which means invest in your sleep, create a positive space, lower the sound, lower the light, don't have a lot of light right before sleep. And lastly, build your brain around purpose. Optimize cognitive activity around social activities such as volunteering, joining groups, learning, taking classes with groups, learning a musical instrument, joining bands, or just learning new things, but in a social setting. That's powerful. That makes the connection. That creates idea density. And the combination of just these few things is so powerful.
Some great advice from the Brain Doc. Dean Sherzai and Mike Studer are both saying a lot of the same things in different ways. It's not rocket science, but it is neuroscience, and it's 100% lifestyle. So don't delay. Start today. The power is in your hands. A lesson we learn every day at Growing Bolder by sharing the stories of ordinary people who are living extraordinary lives. If you want to hear more from Dr. Sherzai, you can check out our full interview on the Growing Bolder podcast, available now on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more.
You're going to raise the leg up. You're going to hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, then lower the leg. And by doing this exercise, it will really help you to improve your balance.
Welcome back to Growing Bolder's What's Next. We're talking the talk today as it relates to leading a longer, healthier life. And now it's time to walk the walk. We recently produced a fitness series with certified personal trainer Trish Walsh, sharing some simple daily exercises we can all do to prevent falls in our future. So it's time to stand up, get off the couch, and follow along with Trish as she demonstrates a side leg raise.
I'm going to show you how to do a side leg raise, which is a great exercise to help you improve your balance. You're going to use a stable surface like a kitchen counter or a kitchen chair. I'm going to use this bench to demonstrate. Your feet should be shoulder width apart, nice and flat. You're going to use your hands here to balance. You're going to raise the leg up. You're going to hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, then lower the leg. We're going to do that again, holding for about 3 to 5 seconds. I would start out with about 5 reps on each leg. So same on the opposite here, raise and hold for about 3 to 5 seconds just to test that balance, just like so. Bring your feet back to a neutral position so you can rest. And I would recommend doing that 3 times a week. And by doing this exercise, it will really help you to improve your balance. Do it, you're gonna feel great about it.
An easy tip from Trish that we can all incorporate into our daily routines. You can view our entire Boulder Balance series now with several more exercises to prevent falls at GrowingBolder.com. The biggest predictor of a fall is a history of falling. You'll be surprised, though, to learn that the second biggest predictor of a fall is a fear of falling. Let's check back in with neurophysical therapist Mike Studer to learn why.
So fear, number one, is a cognitive distractor. It's an unhealthy psychological rumination that says, I had better be careful here. I might fall. What if I don't lift my right foot up enough? And, this is very clear to all of your viewers and listeners that if your mind is preoccupied with the ruminating thoughts of fear, that distraction in and of itself will cause your performance to go down. And we all have that tendency for a self-fulfilling prophecy. You see, I might fall, I might fall, I might fall. You see there, I did fall. That also, fear is a leading predictor because it does something else. It creates a cycle known as fear avoidant behavior, which causes people to be less physically active, which causes them to lose the very resources that they would need to have to prevent a fall.
I don't want to add to your fear of falling by reminding you that falls are the leading cause of injury and injury death among older adults. But I do want to remind you that falls are preventable. They're not inevitable. You can reduce your risk of falls and lessen the severity of injury if you do fall by exercising, by doing balance exercises like the one that Trish Walsh shared, and taking care of your overall health. All right, time now for our bold social clip of the week, which comes from our own Growing Bolder Reels on Instagram. Here's Dr. Bill Thomas with words of wisdom when it comes to finding purpose in your life.
Really, the only identifiable purpose in life is to become the person you were meant to be. And it just doesn't matter what that is, I think. It matters that you take on the challenge. And where I think a lot of people go wrong and miss the turn and experience a lot of unhappiness is when they pine for some version of themselves that is long gone and wasn't the real them anyway. It was an illusion. So I'm all in favor of disillusionment because it's better to live life with fewer illusions. You're more authentic and it's more real what you experience.
Welcome back to Growing Boulder's What's Next. Be sure to follow Growing Bolder on all of our social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, to keep up with all of our latest stories, podcasts, and articles, and of course to weigh in on the Your Take question of the week. This time we asked, what is one way you have improved your health this year that you're most proud of? Maureen says she lost 30 pounds by walking, weightlifting, and eating well. Dawn is reducing highly processed foods and says it's not always easy, but she is trying new things. Ross is improving her social health and says she's spending more time with caring people. And how about Teddy, who shared that he was struggling with type 2 diabetes and obesity, but says, when I retired, I made the decision to cut out sugar, get off my backside, and get healthy. 6 months later, I'm down 72 pounds. My blood sugar and blood pressure are normal, and I'm determined to take this forward for the rest of my life. I saw so many videos and have read so many articles recently about the health benefits of cold plunges that I decided to give it a try. And I found out I love it. Okay, I like it. Actually, I hate it, but I love the feeling afterwards. In addition to improving circulation and reducing inflammation, it gives you energy, mental clarity, and it improves your mood by triggering the release of neurotransmitters, which are associated with feelings of happiness, alertness, and well-being. At the same time, it reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Now, admittedly, it's not for everyone, but there are endless ways to stimulate your body and your mind. And of course, there's endless excuses not to. As we learned today, the secrets to happy, healthy, and active longevity are found in the daily lifestyle choices that we all choose to make. We'll see you next time.